Hey, hey you! Do you want to learn something new about UHC? If so, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to cover my tips and tricks for players who are new, intermediate, and experienced UHC players. So, let's get started. So, you're new to UHC? That's fine, we all had to learn from the beginning at one point. So, why don't we begin with the basics? UHC stands for Ultra Hardcore Challenge. To begin with, the most important rule that you have to know is, if you take damage, you will not regenerate it. You think you're an explorer, and you can go down in the caves without ease? Well, just be careful, because mobs and everything will hunt you down. But now you might be wondering, how can I ever recharge my health? Well, there's different ways, but we're gonna cover that in a little bit. First, what are you gonna do when you first spawn in? Remember, the first 20 minutes is PvP off. It's a gentleman rule, so nobody is allowed to kill each other. Especially you. Those assassins always want you in the early games, don't they? When playing UHC, another tip is always figure out where your friends are. Sometimes they are just mindlessly watching over their crafting table. Halo, I thought we talked about this. You always play UHC with a world border. The world border will always be shrinking. The game master will tell you before the game how quick it will go, how quick the game will be, and how fast the world border will be moving. It will always go to the center, which is also determined by the game master. So be on the lookout for the world border, because you cannot go past it, and once behind it, not good stuff gonna happen. UHC is all about health. One of the ways to get health is actually by one of the most common items, an apple. Because you know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But you're gonna need to do more than just get an apple. First you need to acquire a little bit of wood, so you can get your first tool started. Oh look, an apple. With the apple we can now start moving on. First of all, start by creating a crafting table. After that, transform a little bit of your planks into some sticks. With this you can now craft yourself a wooden pickaxe. Often you can find the stone pockets here, or as I show you now, dig just a little bit down and get your first 9 pieces of stone. With 9 pieces of stone, you can get yourself full stone tools. Now that we've mined the stone, the reason why we want to do this is because we can create the full stone inventory, which is a considerable upgrade to everything else we have and will get for the first few minutes of the game. With a full inventory, that's gonna get you a long way, especially if you pick up the crafting table. Now that you've gotten yourself a bit sorted, it's time to look for animals. A chicken and a cow is the best 2 animals, because together you can get the sugarcane to craft books and arrows from the feathers. These are very important for later on in the game. The sun is setting, and with that we are gonna head into the caves. This is one way to play the UHCs. You can adventure down in caves to see if you can find any riches like iron or coal. This will certainly increase your chances of equipping yourself for the battle, or finding mobs. Run! Once you start seeing it's turning night. Another way is to do the tunnel. Look at your F3 screen. Tell your teammate where you might be going down, or if so, if they are telling you where to go down. The staircase is a safe method, especially because there is no mobs, which is now. One of the best way to protect yourself is get 1 piece of iron, smelt it up. Once smelted, grab yourself a shield. And if you're like me and cannot remember the recipe, go into your book and find it. A shield is one of the best way to protect yourself in the early game. Put it in your offhand, right click, and you're good to go to deflect all the arrows incoming. You have now been down here in the caves for a long time, gathering resources. But you're gonna need 33 iron ingots. to fully complete your iron set. With the full iron set, this is possibly the best armor that you can get, and you can get yourself a full upgrade on all your tools. So now you're ready to get the gold and get a golden apple. Why, you may ask? Well, a golden apple will give you 2 hearts of regeneration and will also give you 2 fake hearts. And also with an iron pickaxe, if you go down, you might even find some diamonds. There's plenty of things to do with the diamonds that you just gathered. You need 5 to get maybe one of the most important things, an enchantment table. For an enchantment table, go ahead and make yourself a diamond pickaxe and do the very tedious task of mining obsidian. You need to get 4. This is gonna be here forever. The last one being dropped. Go back to your crafting table, craft yourself an enchantment table. This is probably your best bet of getting more powerful setup. Doesn't matter with books or anything, just remember, get some lapis as well. Maybe you're even lucky and get yourself a great sword. You're ready to go. Gear up, ask your teammate for help what to do, and let's head for the center. You're now geared up and you're ready to take on the world. Good luck on your 1v1 battles. The battles are most commonly fought at around 0-0. So hit up F3, find your teammates, and look for 0-0 or close by. There's a high chance of enemy, isn't there? Yes, there's a lot. Thank you, Glowing Halo. Let's fight. Let's win this game. Something new, old, and experienced player have to remember is the world border. The world border is a scary place to end up behind. Once behind it, you cannot break any blocks. The only thing to do is outrun it. Once behind it, you'll start taking significant damage. So make sure that you don't end up behind it. Halo! Oh. Can I get a new teammate? Come on. So that was it for now. We're finally finished with the beginner guide. Time to move over to intermediate. Intermediate, we're going to be looking at you as a player, your teammates, and some more bonuses that you can get in yourself for your team. So let's head over. It's time for the intermediate part. Let's start from the beginning. When spawning, make sure to crouch or shift until the world loads. This is due to the server sometimes messing up your spawn and putting you in weird positions. After that, look for your surroundings. What are you nearby? What is around you? Are you in a desert? Look for desert temples. Are you in a Dago forest? Look for red and brown mushrooms. If you're in a savanna, look for the nearest trees to get wood so you can get the animals, and so forth. To start off your whole UHC career, start by getting 4 pieces of wood and 9 pieces of cobble. With the 4 wood, you create a wooden pickaxe and a crafting table, followed by the 4 stone tools shown in the beginner's guide. One of the reasons why the Dark Oak Forest is one of the best biomes to find in the UHC is due to both finding red and brown mushrooms. If you've been lucky enough to find an oxide daisy, you can craft a suspicious stew. This is an overpowered item which makes you regenerate 1.5 hearts and also gain 3 hunger bouts. But you have to be hungry, so make sure to stay low and keep off full hunger. This is because if you take accidental damage and you're just about to meet an opponent, be sure that you can heal up. Oxide daisies are primarily found in plains biomes, so look for plains. They also hide some of the best flowers. This next one might sound a little bit weird, or maybe you've heard it before, but you need to know your playstyle. Are you a scavenger? Are you a miner? Are you a defensive player? Are you an aggressive player? Are you an assassin player, or are you a towering player? What are your playstyle? Talk to your team. Communicate. What are your skills? I myself find in the middle of everything. This means for me that I can carry along a lot of the tasks that is required for a good UHC player. Also, make sure that whoever goes out and scavenge the world looks for the most important areas, like this dark oak forest. But of course, don't let it burn behind you. Also, find the chickens, find the cows, and of course find the sugarcane, so that later on you can craft yourself an enchantment table, because that's one of the best ways to actually go out and scavenge in the world. Find ravines or open-faced iron. A good idea is to have a lot of wood, so early on in the game you can make staircases down to ensure that you can get down to the riches that are beneath. This is why we grabbed the stone tools very early. As you see here, I am already pillaring down because I watched some iron from above. So with already only 10 seconds in, I can already get some iron. Why is this important? Well, if you get iron armor really quickly up, you're able to both deal with players and to deal with the mobs, making sure that you don't take a lot of damage. The open ravines are one of the best that you can actually find. This is because the light will actually ensure that you can see all of the iron and make sure that everywhere that is dark never go alongside, because you see, that's where all the mobs spawn. So you don't need to go there. Grab the iron and coal that you are available and head back up. One of the questions commonly asked is how I managed to actually move so fast around the world. Looking around the world is one of the best reasons to get surface iron and to get other equipment like lava and water. Also, many players forget to actually include many crafting tables. Many crafting tables is one of the better reasons to actually grab more furnaces, because mathematically proven, if you have more, you know, it's gonna be a little bit quicker. So with your trusted mathematic in hand and your trusted scavenger skills, you can quickly get yourself sorted with the iron that you get from above ground sources. This is also a really good thing, because that means that you're quite early and you're dangerous for anybody who ever dares stand in your way. Also remember that you are playing a team-based game, so never wander too far off your team. Friends, where are you? Help! So what now? I'm scavenging the world. What should I do? Well, let's take a look. To upgrade from stone tools, you will need 25 iron ingots to equip yourself with a new pair of iron armor with a shield. This is my recommendation to you. Get yourself some iron armor first. If you're going caving, considering upgrading just one into an iron pickaxe, adding 3 more, so 28. Otherwise, wait until you have a total of 34 to also equip yourself with a full set of iron tools. Here's another tip. When you're scavenging the world, look for shipwrecks, desert temples, jungle temples, and villages. These will give you severe bonuses in your game. The items that you can generate from various structures in the world are very important to your gameplay. Like if we go inside here, going down into a desert temple will most often give you at least 9 pieces of TNT located underneath the stone pressure plate. Also, in the temple, you might find wonderful, like string, or books, gold, more string, other books, or golden apples. You never know what you will come by. The TNT is located underneath. So why is it important that one of your teammates get geared up in full iron with a shield? Well, basically, you can be the meat shield for your team, soaking up all the damage, while you go in and make sure the area that you are going to mine in are secured, making sure that your team is easy to grab all of the important materials that are located around the cave. This is a strategy that you can use. There's plenty of strategies how you can go mining. You can also do this as a team and share the armor. This is totally up to your team and how you play the game again. Like here, where we deflect arrows and do 2 slashes of hit damage. The meat shield is often the most vulnerable but also the most rewarding playstyle. So you have your chances. Pick a choice, pick a playstyle, and good luck and have fun with it. But be careful. These ravines are one of the worst to actually go through, due to a lot of the mobs spawning up on the top and falling down on your head. So, my tip, just back away from them. So why would anybody go caving instead of strip mining? It is, after all, much more safer. Well, one of the reasons is that this is a high risk, high reward situation. You can find minecarts with good stuff and bad stuff inside it. But also, the cobweb can both be used as the form to get string, or if you have a shear, you can get the cobweb as it is. And you can use this as an offensive mechanic towards your enemies, or just to troll them for a little bit of fun. So you've now set up shop. You have your furnace crackling, your crafting table crafting, your anvil anviling, and your enchantment enchanting. Well, what are you now supposed to do? Well, my suggestion, look for disenchantment. On a sword, look for fire aspect. On a bow, look for flame. On the boots, look for feather falling. The reason for always checking these three is for every time that you choose to enchant, you will rotate the enchantment tables different enchantments, therefore increasing your opportunity to get what you actually are looking for. The enchantments will increase in 1 lapis per level you want to do. This also requires that you have a specific amount of experience on your hotbar. So if you wanted to get, let's say, respiration, what could you do? I'm 4 levels from that. Well, experience is stored in furnaces. So grab what you are crackling, or go in the caves and find yourself some ores. Coal ore, lapis, and of course redstone are massive XP gains to get to level 8, so you can get that all important water breathing respiration, so you can maybe, who never wanted to actually, sneak away under a boat? If you're stuck in a situation where you both have feather falling or projectile protection, I would always go for the double protection. Even though the feather falling was there, we're taking the better one, which is projectile protection. You never know if you're gonna be needing a better enchantment. If you have accidentally made a bad sword, like Bane of Arthropoid 1, don't worry. You can create a grindstone by 2 planks, 2 sticks, and a stone slab. This will make you disenchant your sword, gain a little bit of experience, and you can then re-enchant your sword to get sharpness. Yay! So let's say you want to be an archer. One of the best ways to do this is actually enchant a lot of bows into power 1. Why, you might ask, is because you can combine 4 bows, which isn't actually a lot, into a power 3. This is due to the anvil, upgrading them into power 2, and then into power 3. This can also be done if you're more of a sword player. It's most common that you only get enough experience to choose either a bow or a sword, so make sure that you pick what is best to your playstyle. A small little tip: the lower you are in your levels, the more experience you're actually gonna gain. So make sure that you use the optimal amount of experience by getting a level, then go and enchant what you need to enchant, and then come back. This will make sure that you get the most optimal experience for your ores. It's also the best way and most efficient way, even though it's a little bit tedious. Like previously mentioned, why is it good to find villages? Well, one of the best villages to find is a Fletcher. You can get arrows from 1 emerald, as well as having 1 very unique trade. If you change this around enough times, you might actually end up giving you a stick trade, like this one. Oh, actually you can get a double trade. This is one of the most powerful ways to get arrows for your team and for you to eliminate the battlefield and for you to be the best player ever. And make sure to show off all your skills. Look, we got so many arrows. Haha, I'm gonna take you down. Ah! Never mind. Another reason for also getting a Fletcher is once upgraded, you can also get a bow. Which means you don't have to take the risky opportunity to go into a mineshaft. Sometimes, if you trade enough, you will actually get an enchanted bow. So if you're unlucky and don't get an enchantment table, you can just trade yourself away. I'm sorry for hitting you. You're now geared up and you're definitely going to the center, because you need to win the game. Sort your inventory and get yourself a nicely set up hotbar. The hotbar is gonna be very, very important in the battle. You'll not have enough time to change around your settings while you're battling your opponent. Most often, you also need to know your surrounding. Like, did you know flint and steel doesn't work in snow? That's a very good hint to have, and knowledge, if you're going to battle in a snow biome. These are very important to know. Like, the lava bucket will spawn one block above. The same for the water. Did you also know that lava is significantly slower than water? So make sure that you're using your lava in strategic places. Is there an enemy behind this tree? Run up, place it on the one side and push the player into the lava. Use your skills and tactician in your advantage. Is the team up on a hill? Approach carefully. See if they have a bow. Do they have a shield? Do they just have swords? Are they enchanted? Are they not? Use visual cues to look for your opponent. Most often, the render distance is quite low, but you should be able to see the players, even if they just do a little bit of defensive positions. A defensive position could be like followed. A little bit of a hidey spot like this. Hit F5 and you actually get a full view. With this, you are actually completely hidden away and you cannot be hit, except for maybe if somebody is very, very good and leaps it onto here. So if you guys remember, the suspicious stew was only taken if you have hunger. This is because the combination of suspicious stew and golden apples are quite important. I'm missing half a heart just before the final battle. So I eat the suspicious stew, drop the bowl, eat a golden apple, and get the effect, and rush into battle. This is because now I got 22 hearts. Therefore, I'm way stronger. So let's fight. So now, all I've left to say for the intermediate is fight like your heart desire. Make sure that your shields are raised and you're looking for incoming arrows that are flying by your enemies. And make sure that if they're charging in with an axe, it will lower your shield, so hit them before they hit you. Otherwise, it's time for hit and run, or suppression fire, or use the suspicion of a lava bucket. There's many reasons to play a UHC, so make sure that you use all advantages that you can get, even if it's just a water bucket. So, all I can say now is happy hunting, happy finding, happy UHC, and good luck and have some fun. Now we are going to go over in a bit more of a theoretically perspective with the more like heavily experienced, or maybe you're wondering some more advanced tips, like what are some specific strategies that might be good or bad. And let's view some footage that I've done and I've taken from some UHCs that I've been playing with the Setcraft crew. So, without further ado, let's head over. So, we are now going to the experience part. You see me doing what I've been telling everybody about. Getting the wooden pickaxe, getting the stone tools, and getting the apples. Then I furthered out and started to scavenge the world, going back to grab half a stack of wood so I had enough stuff for when I ventured out. My plan was to get enough leather, coal, and iron to complete my mission of getting a lot of iron, possibly almost full iron armor, and I managed this within the first 10 minutes of the game. If you see, I only lack a pair of boots, so I run around and I find the forest. This is one of the Dago Forest, which is the best forest to find, and with this I am now available to make suspicious stews. With suspicious stews I go out and I find actually a player cave. I go down and now I start with the session mode. This is where I slowly sneak up and challenge whoever is down in the cave. I see that the teammates are actually down in the cave and unarmored. This makes me that the assassination is gonna be way easier. I also found some of gold, which is pretty good. So I sneak around and I see the name tags. I follow it, I follow it, I follow it. And I keep on following until I find the name tag really, really close. I start digging into the side, quite nearby. And I know it's time to fight. I make sure that I know exactly where they are and I get up close enough. And then it's time to take them out. And I take out the following players. So getting rid of the entire green team. So this early strategy really did endure to create a new strategy. Here we see finding the new team members, my old team members, after a little bit of time figuring out that there are. So with this, we also find an abandoned mineshaft, which is actually the best place to find string, in my opinion. We managed to get enough diamond, gold and everything to get an amazing setup. I also need a little bit of experience, because what I've been telling you guys, I can get a power 3 bow as my level 3 enchantment. With that we head back up and we get to the 0-0. We run around and then we see the team. The enemy teams have actually decided to team up against us, so it's actually gonna be a 8v3. This was an amazing battle, which had a lot of amazing intricate parts. We start shooting and changing blows. Remember, UHC is all about the health versus mobility. I also check the HP, because I have been hitting, so it's very important that I check out how much HP they have. With that, we need to make sure that we are well equipped, well stocked. We have a few golden apples, so I can spare one. So I eat one, and I start managing to just shoot around. Here you see my teammate, Honey, putting down some lava to exact zone of control, thus making it so we have a more easy way to actually control the battlefield. I grab it and I run away. This is the hit and run tactic. We realize they don't actually have bows, so with this tactic I can run up, put my lava bucket down, make sure that a little bit of damage is being dealt. This will force a super sand, but I also lose my lava bucket. Thus I again retreat, and now I see the problem. It's me and my fellow team in yellow team versus 6 players. So I have to run, and the fight continues. We fight and I eat my golden apples along the way. I make a few mistakes, but that's okay. I see here that my teammate, Sedaf, is right next to me. I asked to cover me, so I got a little bit of time to eat my golden apple. Again, I check for the health. I see that we are slowly chipping away all the HP bars, and I go in for a little bit of blow, making sure that I always keep my health fairly high. And with that, we end up speeding them and getting to GG. GG team. About time and skill. A UHC is also often how you manage yourself and you manage your inventory as well as your team. I've shown here how you do it with the lava bucket. Another way is being very surrounded of your environment. Look for teams. In this preview you can see that we find 2 players almost just dug up from the surface. We quickly rush in because we see 2 players, so we know that we have an advantage. It's a 2v4. Therefore we know that we can easily go in and have the upper edge due to us having way more HP. So we quickly take them down and we make sure that we gather the loot afterwards. We also see where we get ambushed. We manage to evade the ambush and we actually end up in a team fight already going. We rally up and rush in, cleaning up the last few members that was in the fight. After that we chase down the enemies to secure the victory later on, but we realize quickly that we were running into a forest, which is probably one of the worst areas to go into a fight with. This is due to the low areas that you can fight in. There is no clear advantage to go into a forest to clean out enemies, so just stay away from it. Everybody is always annoyed about the shield in a PvP battle. You cannot hit your enemy whilst they have the shield raised, but an axe critically hit will take down the shield. Therefore you can cleanly come in and attack the opponent. Another way is trying to hit your opponent. Try going behind, getting around and finding your opponent's sweet spot. You might be able to get a back hit. It's very, very hard, so it takes some practice. It is now time for some science. If we go up and just hit our target, that will deal 3 hearts of damage. With a critical hit, that will deal 12, meaning we have increased our damage by 2 by doing a critical hit. With the increase of just 1, we will do 5 hearts, which is actually the critical hit. And if we do a splash, that's 6. If we just quickly heal our wonderful test dummy up here, we can see that with a sharpness 2 sword, we'll now do 4 hearts, and we deal 6 hearts of damage. So just because we don't want to kill the Halo, and we really want to see, let's just test this out. With a single hit, we deal 4, and with a splash, we actually deal 7. So remember, there is quite an increase in damage just by iron. That's pretty good to know. So know your enemies and know your limits. How much can you deal of damage before they are out? And always keep it on the tab screen. So why would you need a bow? A bow can deal significant amount of damage with just a few upgrades. With a normal one, you can deal up to 6 or 7 hearts of damage. With a power 2, you can deal up to 9 hearts of damage. With a power 2 bow, you can already start 2-shotting your enemies wearing full iron armor. This is very important to know, because once we reach power 3, this is where you become really deadly. Look at that, 12 hearts, meaning they can be under half and you can kill them in 2 shots. Look at that. So, if you can, make sure to get a power 2 or power 3 bow. And always, always, grab at least 1 pair of projectile protection, please guys. Everybody underestimate it. It's really, really OP. It means that you're not gonna get one shot by a bow. Please, start wearing some projectile protection. Why does everybody think protection is the best? So guys, I guess that was it. I hope you all are gonna have a wonderful UHC time. Remember, it's just about having fun. So go out, have a blast with your teammates. Oh, it's always good fun, and you can talk about it every time on every server that you play on or in group events. So remember, go out, have some fun, and of course, try and kill your opponent with those bow shots. Am I right, Glowing Halo? Please, can I get you? Well, it looks like not today. Guess we're gonna win the next one. So yeah, have a good hunting, have a good UHC, and for everybody at part of the UHC Setcraft, have a wonderful time, a wonderful crafting, and I'll see you in the next one.